Welcome back to the Rustic Planters, your go-to destination for all things home garden design with a rustic twist. Today, we're diving into the charm and character of rustic garden nooks, those cozy corners that make a garden feel magical, timeless, and deeply personal. If you're dreaming of transforming a small garden space with vintage tools, recycled treasures, and that unmistakable old-world vibe, you're in the right place. Whether you're starting from scratch or adding finishing touches, we've got 20 rustic ideas to spark your creativity. Before we dig in, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment below. We love hearing how you bring your own rustic visions to life, and your support helps us grow this cozy gardening community. Garden nooks are more than just seating areas. They're storytelling spaces that invite rest, reflection, and a touch of nostalgia. Think of them as your garden's secret hideaways, tucked between blooms and brambles. These nooks give us the chance to slow down and appreciate the little details, like weathered wood, moss-covered stone, or an antique watering can doubling as a plant. Rustic garden nooks embrace imperfection and age. They celebrate materials with a past and blend nature's wild spirit with human touch and craftsmanship. Every great nook begins with a focal point. This could be an old iron bench, a hand-carved wooden chair, or even a vintage milk can turned into a table. Choose something with history and character, something that sparks curiosity and invites guests to pause. Your focal point anchors the space and sets the rustic tone. Surround your focal point with textures like gravel, mulch, or moss. These subtle elements help frame the space and enhance that old-world charm. Rusty spades, weathered rakes, and wooden-handled trowels don't need to live in a shed. They can become art. Hang them on a fence or mount them to a wooden backdrop. Group tools by size or function to create balance. Add a small shelf or ledge beneath them to display potted herbs or candle lanterns. This turns the practical into the decorative, offering both charm and conversation starters for your rustic nook. There's nothing more satisfying than giving an old item a new garden life. Think enamel basins turned into bird baths or typewriter tables reborn as potting stations. Look for cast-offs at flea markets, estate sales, or even your own attic. The more worn and loved the item, the more character it brings. Combine different textures, metal, wood, stone, for that layered rustic feel. These materials only get better with age and weather. Every nook needs a seat. Use a salvaged bench, a pair of mismatched chairs, or even a sturdy crate with cushions. The more patina, the better. Layer with thick textiles, wool blankets, burlap cushions, or even lace-trimmed throws to soften the space and invite lingering. Position seating under an arbor, beside a wall, or near a tree to create shelter and intimacy. That closeness to nature is part of the rustic magic. Old window frames or doors can transform your nook into a storybook setting. Use them as backdrops, trellises, or even faux walls. A painted window frame filled with climbing ivy or a vintage door leaning against a tree gives instant structure and romance. Consider hanging old windows from pergola beams or mounting them to fences. They bring in light and a sense of place. Pathways guide the eye and the foot. For rustic appeal, skip concrete and go for pea gravel, bark mulch, flagstone, or even reclaimed brick. Let the path meander. Curves feel more organic and playful, especially when flanked by low-growing herbs or ground covers like thyme and chamomile. Add a border of worn logs, vintage garden edging, or weathered iron to frame the path and define the nook. Go wild with layers. Rustic gardens aren't tidy. They're lush, abundant, and often slightly overgrown. Use height, texture, and bloom variety to create depth. Combine climbing roses with trailing ivy, feathery ferns with spiky lavender, and old-fashioned flowers like hollyhocks and foxgloves. Group plants in mismatched terracotta pots or cracked enamel basins to reinforce that vintage, lived-in look. Don't forget to go vertical. A rustic nook thrives when you think upward, adding height with trellises, old ladders, and hanging baskets. Repurpose wooden ladders into plant stands or mount tin buckets on the rungs for flowers. A trellis can support vines or serve as a frame for hanging decor. Hanging birdhouses, enamel pictures, or antique mirrors adds that extra layer of rustic soul. Stone and brick bring that grounded, old-world feeling. Use them for small retaining walls, borders, or even seats. The imperfections only add to the charm. A mossy stone wall with wildflowers spilling over it becomes the perfect rustic backdrop. Reclaimed brick paths or stacked stone features give a sense of permanence and nostalgia. A rusted washtub, enamel bowl, or cracked bird bath can become a charming fountain or water bowl. Add a small pump or just let rainwater fill it naturally. Water adds sound and movement, two things that enrich your garden experience. Even a trickle creates serenity. Use stones or reclaimed wood around the base to blend the feature into your rustic landscape. Old boots, broken chairs, cracked teapots. Anything can find new life in a rustic nook. Think creatively and don't shy away from quirk. A dented kettle becomes a flower pot. A wheelbarrow becomes a mobile herb garden. These touches tell stories. It's about charm and character, not perfection. Let your imagination lead the way. Use arbors, pergolas, or draped fabric to create a roofed feel. Shelter makes the space cozier and more inviting. Old farm gates, vintage shutters, and reclaimed beams can all be repurposed for shade or screening. Add twinkle lights or lanterns to enhance the mood after sunset and create a romantic ambience. Lighting sets the tone. Mason jar lanterns, solar fairy lights, and repurposed chandeliers add soft, magical glow. Hang lights from trees, shepherd's hooks, or across pergola beams. Choose warm tones for that golden hour feel. You can also reuse old lanterns with battery-operated candles. Safe, stylish, and oh so rustic. Driftwood, pine cones, dried branches. Nature offers some of the best rustic decor, and it's free. Arrange bundles of twigs in old buckets or hang wreaths made from vines and herbs. Let textures like bark, straw, and stone guide your design choices. They're organic, grounding, and beautifully imperfect. Turn an old dresser or desk into a potting bench. Remove the drawers, add a few shelves, and give it a weathered paint finish. Keep it stocked with terracotta pots, seed packets, and hand tools to make it both functional and decorative. Surround it with climbing plants and vintage signs to complete the rustic vignette. Rustic Nooks love subtle, timeless art. A stone statue, iron gate, or carved wooden ornament can elevate the space. Choose pieces with history or signs of age, patina, chips, and where only add to the story. Place these pieces partially hidden by plants or nestled among the flowers to create a sense of discovery. Update your nook with each season. In spring, add pastel blossoms in vintage baskets. In fall, use dried corn stalks and pumpkins in crates. Winter can feature evergreens, old sleighs, or lanterns with snow-dusted branches. Summer? Think wildflowers and watering cans. These changes keep the nook alive and ever-evolving, while staying true to the rustic theme. Thanks so much for joining us today in exploring rustic garden nooks. We hope you're inspired to create your own cozy corner full of vintage charm and recycled wonder. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Rustic Planters, and leave us a comment sharing your favorite rustic idea or what you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep planting beauty one nook at a time. See you in the next video.